is
the
scary.
ants had been overtaken by fungus.
It's always fungus. I was just about to say, it's probably a fungus, isn't it? Dude, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, it's going to be because of fungi, like The Last of Us predicted. I don't care, it's a video game. It has some merit to it. Yahoo everyone! Welcome back to the Serenrenity YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be reacting to MoreParz. I remember to say his name correctly this time. We're going to be reacting to MoreParz compilation 2. As a lot of you mentioned that I missed a lot of his other videos in the last compilation video, so I'm hoping to be exposed to some new ones in this one. As always, if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe for more. Leave a comment down below for any other video suggestions as I take a look at all your comments, and be sure to join the Discord server so you can get pinged whenever I go live on Twitch or post a new YouTube video. That being said, happy weekend, and let's get straight into it. Yay! This video is 50 minutes long. I would watch all of it if I could, but unfortunately, I don't have that much time today, so we might get through half of this, and then I'll post the second half tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. But anywho, it's time for more myths about Australia, because this isn't a real country, obviously.
This seal is such a menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him.
What?
Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal.
Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna keep something in mind this time. A lot of you mentioned that some of the videos he makes is actually not about Australia sometimes. So I'm going to stop assuming everything is about Australia unless he brings it up. Let's learn more about this seal.
600 kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from
Wait.
my home state of Tasmania in the land down under. It was known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite
That's a
society.
fat seal.
But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general. Has regularly
Assault
been
and
caught
battery!
trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish.
Every time I doom scroll on any type of social media platform, I keep getting videos of seals just honking at you or barking. I don't know what you even call their noise. What do you call, like, what they do? A dog barks, a cat meows. What the heck does a seal do? What does the seal say? They act like they're always emoting. They're 24/7 emoting, I promise you.
And has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly in the middle of them. However,
he's living his best life.
He has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you
Seriously?
not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton
This is a
beefcake
singular
was camped in
seal
her
doing all of
driveway for
this?
so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this is a lot of menace
So
for a single seal to
cute.
cause. But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5
Really?
years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid tons of blubber.
I did not realize seals grow to be this big. I am always seeing videos of baby seals. Oh my gosh! That's an 18-wheeler right there.
And takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal
That's
damage
so
is covered
cute.
on my fucking
I love
insurance plan, dude.
seals. I want a pet seal. They're so cute. Is that a kangaroo?
People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent.
MoreParz face reveal. I'm stupid. Of course, face reveal. He puts his Twitch at the end of every short. Serenrenity, are you stupid? I might be just a little bit. I have a little bit of a headache today. I don't know why. Maybe I'm dehydrated. Maybe I haven't had enough caffeine. Anyways,
like a really thick Australian one, right? But I am not above. Just, dude, I can't wait to go get like burgers later, man. I'm like so hyped for burgers, dude. I fucking love cheeseburgers. Dude, you've been watching the NFL?
I almost spit out my water.
Super Bowl was crazy this year, man.
So accurate, though. I feel like an American accent has got to be one of the easier like English accents to do. Maybe I'm biased because I live in America, but all you have to do is exaggerate or draw out longer vowels, like exaggerate your syllables, you know? It's very slow and exaggerated. That's how I feel anyways. But I can't do a British or Australian accent for the life of me. Except for ba-oh, wa-ah, ba-oh, wa-ah.
Eagles just like fucking dumpstered the Chiefs, bro. It was crazy.
It was really good.
Australia lost a war to emus.
Yes! The
But how?
infamous
How
emu
the
war short.
Did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in
Yeah, I need to
1932
learn
when
more.
farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory. And emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall
Oh.
and 40 kilos in
Oh,
weight,
so
they can eat a lot
cuddly.
of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered techs then proceeded to
20,000?
completely steamroll through the fences into the
Holy.
field and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely
Holy.
useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat field.
How would you ask for help? Like, give me your best soldiers right now to fight these damn birds. Like, what?
My mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent
No
in the army
way!
to commence the Great Emu War. The entire
No
7th Heavy
way!
Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective
MLGs?
to blast anything with feathers. A little bit
Seriously?
excessive for an overgrown turkey, if you ask me. And upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast. I am speed.
Did they miss all their
Really
all their
fast, clocking a
explosions?
top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army
Really?
to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks.
They
which
had
gave them
flock
enough time to
birds?
book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did
This
catch the
sounds
emus,
like
they
a
found out they were
simulation.
kind of
This
because
sounds
emus are
so
mostly
fake.
feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without
There's
doing
no
any damage.
way.
Meaning
They
it was
had
taking around
scouts.
10 bullets for every
They had scouts like this shit was Attack on
one
Titan.
bird. So after a
What?
month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to
Well,
achieve
that could be up for
absolutely
debate
fuck all.
now.
So, the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and
Dude.
called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang and a cricket bat.
This doesn't sound real. We had beef with flightless birds and we lost. How are we at the top of the food chain? That's so funny.
I have been assaulted by a cow. One of the cows is called Monty, and he's an adolescent. And
Oh, he works in a
I
rescue
made
farm.
the mistake of turning around for like 5 seconds.
You're not supposed
And
to show
in
your
that
back.
5 seconds, this 500-kilo cow runs up behind me
Oh
while I'm
my-
sorting out his food
Oh
and tries
my
to f***ing
gosh.
mount me.
Oh my.
He nearly f***ing squished me. If I hadn't been hit in the legs, I would have been squashed by a horny f***ing cow.
That sounds so dangerous. I'm glad that he's
This bird
okay.
has to rearrange its organs and skeleton just to lay an egg.
Oh, it's the
And
kiwi
this
bird!
cute
No,
little guy is the kiwi.
no. We learned about this in the other video. It sounded like a nightmare. It gives birth. It's like 5 times its size. Dude, like that sounds like the plot to like a horror anime. Like that's oh my
Bird,
gosh.
a species of rat
Or
native
horror
to
manga.
New Zealand this time. And the absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary, being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the kiwi's bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stats tree, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins beckoning to speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability. So that leaves the question, what did the kiwi pick to make up for not flying?
Cuteness.
Absolutely
Moe.
nothing.
Kawaii.
Kiwis are
Kawaii
tiny in comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because kiwis
It's like a big old coconut. I want
on
one.
an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude. Which honestly worked pretty well for them, until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning.
I knew they were endangered. I didn't know that was why. God damn you, cats and dogs. It's a big problem here too. I love animals so much. I love dogs. I love cats too. If you guys watch my streams, you might hear me kicking out my cat every now and then because he always likes to bother me when I stream. It's a big problem. If they're undomesticated or they don't have a home, pretty invasive species, especially cats, kill a lot of wildlife if you leave them outdoors. Do not keep your pets outdoors, please. Please, 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 please. And please keep your dogs on a leash. It's been such a massive problem where I live, where my neighbors will keep their dogs unleashed, and then I've had to bury so many dead animals, even dead pets. Some of my neighbors, their dogs that were on a leash would get killed by unleashed dogs. They did what they had to do properly, and they would be punished for doing things correctly because someone else couldn't follow the damn law and keep their dogs on a leash, and they're untrained, and they start killing other people's pets. It's such a big problem. Please, please keep your pets indoors or on a leash, and if you have neighbors that don't do it, try to convince them to do, or threaten them like I did because it pissed me off so bad. I don't want to clean up after dead animals because of people's irresponsibility. Anyways.
Violation of the kiwi, because these poor
rant's over. I'm sorry.
Can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized egg. And you would think that is because they are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same size. A kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child. That's not a bone in the oven anymore. That's a whole bakery.
Ow!
There was a big-ass huntsman that used to live in my house, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I kind of just let him hang out.
He ain't f***ing small. I'll tell you
I
that
saw a
much.
short clip of this.
There's a huntsman, and they do. Ooh.
I was quite happy to let him just chill, because I
He's
never
quite
saw a
cute.
mosquito or a fly in that house.
Yeah,
So he
he's
was
quite
paying rent
cute.
in his own way, you know?
Excuse me. Wait, is it tickling? Oh, that's so cute. Wait. Why are spiders why are they kinda cute? They make good pets, right?
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well,
What?
kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea.
I hear
back
about stories like this every now and then on the news. Has there actually been progress in bringing dinosaurs back to life? I've been hearing about this since like 2010.
Species. And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know,
Oh, I heard about
puppies
this!
from Game of Thrones at the
I
start
remember!
had? Yeah, those were actually
I
a real
remember!
life animal, alive
I
during the late
remember!
Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is basically a wolf on steroids. Yeah, buddy! These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have
Are we sure we want to bring that back to life, guys? You sure this won't be an invasive species?
managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
Oh.
These two little guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However,
I've never seen like actual footage of it. That's them?
they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get
that makes sense. I was like, why didn't I see footage when the news first came
a
out?
photo up with George R.R. Martin
Wow.
holding one of these adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There is, however, one small problem.
I feel
This
like
isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by a merit of them
what?
being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the direwolf. So, using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creature creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth.
That's
All in all, they made a
insane.
total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel. Which is cool as
I wonder if we could get like a percentage of how much percentage is it away from being a pure direwolf? Like, is it 99.9% there? Like, do we have those numbers?
I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are all playing Resident Evil.
It's true. Or The Last of Us. Just you wait.
This bear was actually a soldier. But how? You see, it was not.
What is that small text? This is a real image?
But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of
Putting
Iran
sauce on my
their way to
Chipotle.
the front lines to fight the
gonna
Nazis.
eat.
While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad law, said,
Damn good deal.
and in the most worthwhile trade deal in history, parted ways with
how
their
would you
supplies in
trade
exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Voytech. And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
A soldier?
As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the
course it's a vodka
cartoon bear
bottle.
diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier
what?
as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Voytech
Fruit,
how to fit
honey,
in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march.
Wait, what? How?
While not undergoing rigorous military
What?
training, Voytech would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them.
What?
Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you?
For fun and
On top
without
of double
killing you.
rations, they would also
How?
feed Voytech treats in the form of beer and cigarettes. They
What?
let the bear have smoko. Eventually, Army High Command heard about this and were having absolutely f***ing none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Voytech had to go.
But it's a
Or
soldier.
did he? Because the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Voytech was given a serial number
Is
and
that what
granted
the
the rank of
picture was
private.
from?
So when confronted about the very
Private
conspicuous
Bear.
bear in their
What?
ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Voytech." And Voytech took his new role very seriously.
This
as
doesn't
during the
sound
Battle of Monte
real.
Cassino in 1944,
I didn't
Voytech
know
began
bears could be
using
trained
his
like
bolt
this.
to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear.
What?
For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell.
What?
This absolute unit smoked, drank,
It turned into a
and dropped
corporal.
artillery on the Nazis. Based.
Am I living on planet Earth? Are we still living on the same planet? How have I never heard of this? This is the most insane trained animal fact I've ever heard in my life. If a bear can become corporal, so can you, young soldier. Wow, that's so impressive. I can't believe a bunch of soldiers who probably have no training in regards to animals, even less for wild animals, were able to train this random bear to do their bidding. That's insane.
Australia has just found zombified bugs.
Oh, great.
That's
That's
right,
lovely.
we are closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you think. You see, just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Broussard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory with the goal of finding and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to science. I mean, me personally, I think we found more than enough bugs, especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the fucking soil. What do I know, right? Anyway, on his trip to the middle of nowhere, he stumbled across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a little off. You see,
They
the
were
main
dead?
ant colony
Were they
was
corpses?
fine, completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots of grass surrounding the colony like a Bugs Life version of Vlad the Inhaler.
God.
Yeah, those were significantly less normal.
What?
Broussard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for
That's
inspection
gore,
and
that's
upon
gore,
getting a
my
closer
favorite
look,
comfort
realised
character.
something both really cool and really
That-
spooky.
That is
The
scary.
ants had been overtaken by fungus.
It's always fungus. I was just about to say, it's probably a fungus, isn't it? Dude, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, it's going to be because of fungi, like The Last of Us predicted. I don't care, it's a video game. It has some merit to it. I believe it. Dr. Bio.
More accurately, a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus.
Wow,
infamous
that's
around the
terrifying.
globe for
I
its
don't-
ability to create
Me and my homies do not trust fungi, okay, chat? Me and my homies do
zombie
not
bugs.
trust fungi.
And the way it does it is unbelievably horrific. You see, it begins with a spore landing on an ant and producing a thin, rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches to their exoskeleton. At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's body and
Did you say ancestors, or am I the unfunny one that just made that up?
brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one single goal: climb. Its fungus-riddled mind
Climb?
drags its rapidly deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its
What?
final act being to clamp
it
its
jump?
mandibles onto the stem in a death grip, finally
Oh.
succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed. Its corpse
Does it release its
blossoming
spores
into
from
a
up there?
fully grown cordyceps fungus
Oh.
and raining down spores onto the rest of the colony.
Oh, yeah, okay, so it goes up there to release its spores from a high vantage point. Oh my god.
To continue the cycle
That
of
is
infection. Now, look, I know
terrifying.
this fungus is
What?
found elsewhere in the world, but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia.
Oh
With my luck, I'm going to be
Well, how
playing The
recent
Last
was
of Us
that?
against cat-sized spiders within the fucking week.
How recent was this? Wait, chat, we might be screwed. I think we are inching closer to fungi evolving to turn humans into zombies one day. Are you kidding me? That time lapse was terrifying. That time lapse was absolutely terrifying. I can't believe this is real. Dude, nature is brutal. How does it evolve into that? Can we invent embedding our consciousness into the internet already so I can be Anime Girl forever without having to worry about a fungi taking over my body? Please. Please. Golly. I think that's a good one to end things off at. That one was really crazy. Oh, excuse me. I'm so flabbergasted, I just belched. I can't believe this is just the beginning of this compilation. We have so many other crazy ones to go through. I'll make sure to film the rest of this tomorrow so you guys can have a longer MoreParz react video to watch, okay? With that being said, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of this one. I'm sorry for the short one today. I've got a storm prep because there's a lot of rain incoming. And I think a lot of you guys might be affected too, so be sure to stay safe, stay dry, and I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Johnny!